Hi, this is Casey Clem, and today I'm going to show you how to create teams and to create roles and how to assign them to specific users. So to do so, the first thing before I start making teams, I really need to start. I guess it really doesn't matter. You can make a team first or a role first, but you need both of them before you can start adding users. Because every user that you create, you really do need to assign them to a team and a role. So to do so, I'll come over here to the administration tab underneath the triple bar. I'll click that. I'll come down here to users, and let's just start, I guess, with a team. We can do that. And you can see I've already created some teams here. But let's just say, I need to create an office team. So I'm going to do that now. Simply hit create team and name it office. All right, and I can click on that, and I can either add roles already, like if I want to give the office admin roles. The way I did that was just by clicking this up arrow, or you can start typing, and your roles that you have already created will show up. So you can see admin showed up, sales shows up. So in this case, let's just say I'm gonna give them administration permissions. So I'll select that. I can name the positions that are part of this team, but I don't have to, and just like that. So now that I have my team, now I can start adding members to my team if I want. So I can go to hit this drop down here for users. Notice I haven't assigned anybody to this team, this office team yet, because I just created it. So I can hit select, and now I have all of my users here, and I can start selecting people. And once I hit select, they will be added to the team. So let me do that now. All right. So it looks like I brought in 3 users as part of this team. Now this is something that's important. If I want to remove people from this team, when you hit this drop down button, there's just an unlink button here, not a remove, so that's fine. If there was, in other instances, if you see an unlink and a remove button, you have to be very careful, because if you hit the remove button, you'll delete the entire user, or you'll delete relationships or the roles or whatever it is. So in this instance, I just want to hit unlink. It'll ask me twice. Now I'm taking Amory. Now I'm going to take the APA off this team, as well as Becky. All right. So now I have my office team with nobody on it, and now I'll go ahead and remove that team as well. But now that this is in here, if I go into a user account and I start typing office into their team, office will pop up, and I'll be able to give them that team. Okay, and but I'm just going to remove this team for now. And the other thing I'm going to show you here is how to create roles. So roles, just another word for roles, are permissions. So you're going to want to be able to give various people on your office or your team or your company. You're going to probably want to give varying degrees of permissions. You may not want the technician or the sales guy having as much permission as, say, yourself or the admin or whoever. So you come in here to administration, and you're going to click on roles. And I'm going to go ahead and create a new role. Let's just call this admin 2. Okay. So you notice the first set of things up here, there's kind of a lot of information on this role. So the first is the export permission. The way that roles work, it's almost like in the courtroom how you have innocent until proven guilty. With roles, it's you have that permission until it's taken away. So the system assumes that you have permission or license to do everything until you go into a role and you say, no, we're going to restrict that permission, right? So I can leave it at not set. I can enable it to say yes, or I can say no. Now that's just being able to export documents or generate reports or whatever. User permission. If you hit these little icons, it gives you little tool tips. So here I can see it allows to restrict an ability for users to view activities, calendar, and stream of other users. All can view all, team can view activities of teammates only, and no can't view. So again, if you're a sales guy and you want your sales guys to see the meetings that each of your sales guys have, then you would set this user permission to team, right? If you want everyone to see everything on the calendar, you would set to all. If you want them to see nothing, you would set it to no. And that can apply to the stream, the calendar, and other activities like tasks or different things like that. So I'm just going to put, we'll just say all because this is an admin. Assignment. This allows me, if I'm an office administrator and I'm creating a claim and I want to be able to assign it to Jane, who's on my team, I want to be able to make sure that I have an assignment permission so that I can assign records to Jane. Or if I want to just limit it to the team, so on and so forth. So you can read these little icons for each of these little things, and it explains it a little bit in more detail. Now coming down here, we have the scope level. So the scope level is kind of the view from, we've gone from 30,000 feet, now we're going down to 10,000 feet. So we're getting a little bit more detailed here, and we can get even more detailed than this, but we'll start with the scope level. The scope level shows permissions for all of your entities. Your entities are your big things here on the menu, and they're anything that basically has its own section or link in the system. So activities, this includes tasks, calendar, meetings, and other sort. It's a general term for the three of those. So I have enabled or disabled. If I enable it, now some of these it's just a one-click button. Other of these, like you'll notice when I come down here to claims, it's going to give me a bunch of different options. So scrolling back to the top here, you'll see that there's 5 levels of permissions: create, read, edit, delete, and stream. The first 4 are pretty self-explanatory. The stream is allowing someone to view the contents of the stream. If there's a stream beneath a claim or a client, you can limit their ability to see that. You can let them see their team. You can let them only see the stream of claims that they are the assigned user on, or that they created, or you can make it all and change it up. So you can say yes, no. Now if you want them to read everything, I can put all or just read the team, and so on and so forth. So you get the idea there. So you can say yes on some of these and no on some of these. You can get very, very particular. And you can do that for all the entities, for leads, for meetings, for messages, payables. Let's say you don't want certain people to see the accounting sections, right? So you can say, okay, I'm going to disable that across the board. Or if you say I want to enable some features of the payables, I want them to be able to create them, but I definitely don't want them to delete them or edit the payables, right? So you can do that. Scrolling down here, so you can do that for any entity. Coming down to the field level. Now let's say you want people to be able to work in certain things like claims or clients, but you only want them to be able to see certain parts of the claim or certain parts of the client. Well, if I come in here to claims and I hit this plus button, every field that I have in the system under claim is going to show up here. Okay, so let's just say current adjuster appointment. Or if I don't want, let's see, maybe I don't want them to see, we'll just go with this. Okay, I click on that. Now I have 2 options pop up, read and edit. So I can say, yes, I want them to be able to see it, but I don't want them to be able to touch it. I don't want them to be able to mess with it, right? So every field within these individual entities, I can come in here to emails, and I can touch these fields. Like if I don't want them changing the from address, I can, make sure that they can't change the from address. So you can get as specific, as detailed, as fine, as particular as you would like. And this is the field level. So again, these are the fields within the individual entities themselves. So you just click on the field, and then it'll give you the option to edit. All right. So that's how you do that. And that is your roles or permissions. So now that I've created this role, we'll call it admin 2. Now I can start giving this role to members of certain teams. So if I want to go back to that office team that I had made, I could give them each member the role of admin 2. Now you can give users on certain teams different permission levels. So not everyone on the office team has to have the admin 2 permission level. I could give some people admin rights and some people sales roles or technician roles, or whatever the name of the role that you want it to be, and whatever the level of the permission you would like to give is available to you.